Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. This is going to be a vlog for the Into Folklore readathon that the Clockwork Book on Bookstagram's hosting. Her name's Miriam, so I'll probably call her Miriam throughout this. But yeah, I just thought I'd vlog the readathon. Excuse my appearance, I did a workout, showered, gotta go do chores after this, so I'm in my pyjamas. But yes, so what is it? So the Readathon is inspired by Folklore, which is Taylor Swift's best ever album. If you want to see my thoughts about that, I did actually do a video picking books for each of the songs on there, which actually might be useful for the Readathon, but they're all books I've read and I wanted to read new books for this one. So I am currently reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I got this as a library book, which the hold is actually ending quite soon, so I need to hurry up and read it. And I am sort of cheating because I did start it on Monday. But because the hold is ending, I knew I needed to start it soon because I've got like 3 days left and you get 21 days in total to read it. So I'm reading this for the 7 prompt, which was friendship, book about friendship, which this one seems to be quite full of at the minute. I did originally put it under the 1, which was new adult books. I thought it fell into that genre, but I don't think it really does, to be honest. So it's under 7 now. I've made it fit. I've made my TBR fit into it, and actually if you go on my Instagram you'll be able to see all my updates as well on there, but you'll see what I've chosen for each prompt, but obviously I'll discuss them throughout this anyway. So yeah, I'm reading that. I'm about, I believe, like 40% in, and I don't get the hype. I see so many people giving it 5 stars and I'm just reading it and like, the writing's pretty, I just don't really vibe with the characters, to be honest, and I think I just don't know where the story's going. I'm 40% in and I still don't know where it's going, and it feels like it's already too long. I don't know how many pages I've read, because as I always say, it's a library book, so I'm like 300 pages into the library book version, but I don't know how that correlates to the actual physical book. I don't know how many pages the physical book is. I just know it's taking me ages. The chapters are huge. I'm pretty sure the chapter I'm on at the minute is like 40 pages long, which the other books I've read through the library, I think the longest I've seen other than that was 20 or 25, so 40. I don't like long chapters, but we'll get there. I don't like DNFing books, and I don't feel like it's DNF worthy because there's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing good about it either. It's just very meh. So I need to try and read it because I want to get rid of that book and then start Godkiller, because I know I'm going to love Godkiller. What the other 2 I've got? Oh yeah, I've put in, I can't think of what the songs are, but Godkiller I think I did for Found Family, and I did The Kiss of Deception for the royalty trope, I believe, and then I did Day of Fallen Night for the royalty trope. What was the other one? Can't remember. I'm not going to finish all of Day of Fallen Night. I just want to get this one read and Godkiller mainly. They're my 2 priorities. Oh, I did the you can't see it, the Illumicrate book for the revenge trope, or the female rage trope. Was that Mad? That's probably Mad Woman. That's quite an easy one to compare. But yeah, I just feel very meh about it. I don't know if anyone else has felt this way about this. I know one of my friends in real life commented and he said that he didn't really enjoy it that much. Did he say he DNF'd it? He might have done. So yeah, we'll see. But yes, I better get to the chores and the cleaning, and my boyfriend's about to come into shot. No, he's not. He's hiding away. Yeah, I better get on so I can do some reading and do some cleaning. Yeah, speak to you tomorrow. So it is Sunday, so I thought I'd come in with another reading challenge, readathon update with my birthday balloon. It's still going. It's going for almost a month now. So yeah, today is the 7th of May, and I made a bit of an executive decision on, was it Friday? Might have been Saturday. I decided to DNF Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I wasn't feeling it. It was making me feel really slumpy. It was just, I can see why people like it, but it just wasn't for me. I feel like I thrive more on books where I can see where they're going. And this one, it feels like they made a game. And I was like, well, what's going to happen next then? Because there's still 75% of the book to go. So they made another game and they were making another one. And I was just like, I just can't be bothered. I'd rather read books that I enjoy. So yeah, instead I started God Killer because I have that available from the library, and oh my god, best decision I ever made to read this book. It's so good. It's just given me, it's everything I needed right now. I haven't read a fantasy in so long. When fantasy is normally what I primarily read, but I haven't read it since I think Fellowship of the Ring in February. It's so good. It's giving me Witcher vibes. So if you like the Witcher TV show and games, because I've not read the books, I've only played Witcher 3 and obviously watched the TV show. There's a fly. Yeah, it's so good. It's basically, there's a female god killer who's basically like Geralt, like a Witcher. She kills gods. Essentially, it starts off with a prologue where her family are all killed apart from her. That was when she was quite young, and it jumps forward probably about 15 years, and she's a god killer. She's hired to kill gods and destroy their shrines, which stops them coming back again, basically. And then there's a young girl who's like a daughter of like, what do you call it? Like the area, the house. What do you call it? Her family own a lot of the area. They're like in charge, and she's a daughter that no one knows about. They don't know the daughter exists, and she's got a little god attached to her. So the god doesn't have a shrine for some reason. It's almost like she is the shrine, which I'm guessing is is going to happen. And the god is like this cute little. It's like mix between a hare, a stag, and a bird. And it's like usually it's tiny and it gets big. But in this world, the king has decreed that all gods must be killed, basically. So obviously they're trying to keep this little creature safe, and the young child goes to the god killer for help to basically understand what is happening, because if the child and her god get too far apart, basically it's almost like they're tethered together, so they start getting in pain. And then there's another man who was friends with the now king. And he's got serious PTSD after this huge war, so you're kind of learning more about the world building and things like that from that perspective. And I'm not really too sure what's happening with that yet, but apparently they might be travelling to somewhere. But I feel like he's probably going to link up with the god killer and the child, I'm guessing, and it's going to be like a found family cute little thing. And I'm assuming the god killer hates the god but's with the child at the minute, but I'm assuming they'll end up like liking each other. So yeah, it's so good. It's really what I needed right now. It's quite an easy read as well. I'm not sure if this is right, but I believe it's Hannah Canna's first book. I could be wrong, but it is a first in the series as well, and it's quite short. It's only like 300 pages, the actual book. So if I enjoy the whole story, I think I'll have to buy the book properly, because I am reading it through the library at the minute. It's just such a good idea for me to read this. And I'm reading it for the peace prompt, I think it is. So yeah, I just can't put down. I want to go read more now. We're going to see Guardians of the Galaxy in a bit, I think, the new one, because I'm trying to dodge spoilers already, so that's when you know it's a good film, because usually for Marvel films there's rarely any spoilers posted unless it was like Endgame. So we're going to go see that hopefully, and then tomorrow I haven't got anything planned, so I'm just going to spend tomorrow reading. Yesterday we obviously watched the coronation. If everyone knows probably that the King's coronation was yesterday. I'm not the biggest supporter of him as a person. I'd rather there be a monarchy than not be a monarchy, but I obviously know the downfalls of him as a socialist. But it was very interesting to watch. I like my history as well, so it's obviously a bit of history to see what actually happens at a coronation, because I've never seen one before, because I'm not old enough to have seen the one before. So we watched that, and then we went into my local town for some drinks and food, and then we went to this place that is basically like an arcade but with like cocktails and pizzas and things, and it's like it is a bar with like arcade machines where you just like pay in your card and you can do things like the basketball game, and there's like the car games and things. It was really fun. Didn't actually get that drunk somehow, even though I drank a lot. But yeah, hope you've had a good bank holiday weekend, or good weekend in general. I say the readathon is now getting a bit better, because I can see myself giving this book at least 4 stars at the minute, if not 5, depending on what happens throughout it. So yes, well worth a read if you haven't read it already. It's a new release as well, so if one of my goals is to read books that have been released this year, I believe this will actually be my first one, and I've got a few behind me there that are new releases. Well, A Day of Fallen Night, I've also been hearing really good things about Emily Henry's new book. So someone I follow on TikTok posted a review of Happy Place and said it was really, really good and made her cry. So now I need to read it. But I'll wait for it to come out in paperback, I think, because the others are in paperback. But maybe I'll buy it on Kindle to read when I go on holiday one day, eventually. Yeah, hope you've had a good weekend. I'll probably be back again tomorrow with another update. I want to try and finish God Killer tomorrow, maybe, for the Readathon, because, well, this is day 3. And I want to get at least 2, well, I've technically read one of them, even though I DNF'd it at about 50%. I want to get 2 other ones read, at least this one and, what's it called? Some Desperate Glory. I want to get these 2 read at least and started the day before the night if possible. So yes, I'll speak to you in the next update. Hi guys, so another quick reading update. It is Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, and my balloon is still, can't see my finger, it's still inflated up there. Somehow it's going down. But yes, Bank Holiday Monday. I did try to read a lot today. Didn't really happen too much. I mean, I probably got about an hour in. I'm currently just over 50% into God Killer. I was trying to read it, at least finish it today, but that's not going to happen. So I'm going to aim for maybe 75% or try and go to bed early, which will be probably in the next 20 minutes, which isn't going to happen. Try and go to bed early and get some more of that read, but it's so good. I wouldn't probably say it's a 5-star read now, so it depends on the ending, but it's definitely at least a 4-star, maybe 4.5. It slowed down a little bit from the beginning, but there has been some fighting, so, and we're learning a bit more about the world and about the characters. It's kind of more of like an adventure story. I think there's a trope called like wolf and adopted cub or something like that. It fits into that sort of trope, basically. But yeah, it's really good. Still listening to Leviathan Wakes, but because it's on Audible, it doesn't tell you what percentage you are into it, so I have no idea how far I am into it. I don't think I'm even halfway, but I'm flying for it, so that's really good as well. We also did end up seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 last night, and it was so good. Really, really good. One of the better of the Marvel films that have been released lately. Very emotional. It does hit you right in the feels, but it was really good. Yeah, I'd probably say, would I say it's better than Black Panther? Probably not. I'd say it's on the same level as Black Panther and the latest Spider-Man one. Is that Far From Home? I always get their names mixed up. But yeah, really good. Recommend going to watch that if you are able this weekend, which it would be actually this weekend, because this will be going up on Thursday, hopefully. Yeah, we did that. We also went to see some of my family yesterday, and we also went to a bathroom showroom because our bathroom is awful. So one of the things that we wanted to get done when we first moved in, and 2 years later, it's still not been done. But there's other jobs that needed to be done more higher priority, even though that is really high priority at the minute. But we need to I want to replace the window in there, which is better to do before we do anything else realistically. What are your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy for the vlog?
Very good.
Very good. What would you give it out of 5?
5.
Yeah? Is it your favourite?
Yes.
Yeah? There we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for Chris's feedback on the film. He really enjoyed it. He said he was crying in there. So you cried multiple times, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah. He's a softie. But yeah, that's just a quick update. So what day are we on? I think it's day 4 of the readathon. No, it'll probably be day 5 actually. So I need to get my act together and get this book finished, so I at least finish one through it and make us out the next one. But yeah, I will speak to you again at some point tomorrow or on the last day of the readathon. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday, I believe. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday, the 10th. Just coming in with a quick reading update. So I am 87% into God Killer by Hannah Kana, whatever her name is. So I've only got 13%-ish left, depending on how much is at the end. And I'm about just under 12 hours into Leviathan Wakes. Both really good books, really enjoying both of them. I'm a bit annoyed because I was hoping to finish God Killer today, so I could get this vlog out on Thursday, so tomorrow. Which, I mean, I might still be able to get it read today, 13%, depending on how much fluff there is at the end, maybe. But I've got quite a bit to do tonight. I've got to do a workout. Obviously got to edit the vlog. I'll have to then upload it, so I won't actually have time to read it before I upload this. So maybe I'll probably finish it when I'm in bed tonight, so I won't have time to then record my feedback. So what I might do is record like a sit down review for the end of this vlog, and then I can then upload this maybe still even Thursday evening, but it'll be up quite late, so maybe Friday evening. Might be a nice Friday evening post for everyone to watch. But yeah, I am really enjoying God Killer. I think I am doing it as, I think it will be a 4-star. I don't think it'll be any higher or lower than that. So I mean, it's still good, a good thing. I just wouldn't say it's the most gripping story, and I have predicted a couple of the twists in the story. But I will 100% be continuing the series when the next book is released. Obviously this one came out January this year. And I will definitely... And there's a delivery. And I will definitely be buying the book when I get a chance as well. I had a look at the Illumicrate versions that people were selling on eBay, and they're going for like 60 quid. So I was like, no. So I'll keep an eye out and see if I can buy a version, or... I mean, to be fair, I probably prefer it in paperback. So it doesn't take as much space up on my shelf, but that'll probably be a year before that is released anyway. But yeah, really enjoying it. Leviathan Wicks, really enjoying as well. The audiobook is actually quite a good format for it. I'm not struggling too much with like the names and things. My only issue is when I like the difference between an audiobook for me and a physical / ebook is when you're listening to an audiobook, you do just zone out, whereas when you're reading, you're focusing on what you're reading most of the time. So that's my one issue, but I am enjoying it. I will say that. It's a good story, very gripping and interesting, and you don't actually know what's going to happen next as well. I found, like, I haven't predicted anything that's happened, and I keep telling my boyfriend who's watched a TV series, and he's like, oh yeah, oh I know where you're at then. And I'm like, oh no, what's happening next? But yeah, really enjoying that. But yeah, I just thought I'd jump in for a quick update, very quick 3-minute update. I haven't really got much more to say other than I did post my review of Tomorrow on TikTok, and it's had quite not many views compared to other videos that I've done recently, which have had like over 2,000 views, or even over 4,000 for one of them. Don't know how that happened, but it's had quite a few comments from people saying, I've just bought this book, I'm reading it next, or I'm doing this for my book club. I'm like, I'm sorry, but most people did enjoy it. It's just a me problem, I think. So yeah, but if you want to go watch that, maybe I'll link it or something, I don't know, in the comments. Not in the comments, in the description. But yeah, so quite a few people commenting. A lot of, no hate actually, to be honest. No one's given me any hate, which I was kind of expecting because it's a very popular book, which is a good thing. I mean, TikTok is quite a friendly place anyway, so yeah. I do need to try and do a review up on both my Goodreads and on Instagram, Bookstagram for it as well, but I need to take photos for that. That's the difficult part of Bookstagram, it's taking pretty photos. I'm never happy with any of the ones that I post, because some of the ones on there are incredible. I feel like I need to get more props, but hopefully when I get my next Illumicrate I'll get a few props of that. But yeah, oh, and excuse my appearance, I don't think I've ever been on here with my hair up. I'm just need to like tidy it up, and I'm going to go do a workout, which would be fun. I'm doing like the Chloe Ting 2-week challenge from 2019, because I did that when we first went into the lockdown actually in the UK, which was I probably did it in about April time. And I struggled, the same each time. I find it really difficult the first 2 days, and then from then onwards I find the cardio hit part of it gets easier. So it's one of those good ones where you do actually feel like you're improving, whereas other workouts you keep doing it over and over and over, and then you don't feel like you're improving for like 2 weeks and you end up giving up. So, but I've done all right with this. I mean, I've done it every other day rather than every day at the minute, because I keep, like yesterday my legs were killing me, so I can actually do one yesterday, but I'm on to day 4, which is the arm day, which is always my worst one, and it's probably why I usually stop doing it, to be honest. But yeah, I'm getting there, and I find that when I did this 2-week challenge the first time round, because I've done it like 4 times now, the first time round that I did it back in 2020, I lost probably like half a stone in just those 2 weeks. So obviously coupled with healthy eating, so hopefully that will happen again this time, because I've got quite a bit of weight that I need to lose. Since moving out, I've put on like 2 stone, which is really bad. But it's one of those things. I just want to try and lose a bit before we've got a wedding coming up the end of June, and then hopefully a holiday. So I've got a few goals to hit, but we can do it. But my main thing, I don't just want to lose weight, I also want to get strong, because I'm really weak at the minute, like struggling to do push-ups week. So I need to work on that. But yeah, anyway, you're not here for me talking about working out for 3 minutes. So I will let you go, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with my full review of Godkiller, because hopefully I will have finished it. We shall see. And then once I finish that, oh, you can't see it. You still can't see it, it's right there. I'm going to read Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh next. So yes, if you, and I will vlog that as well, hopefully. Yeah, I will vlog that. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next clip. So I did end up finishing Godkiller just in time for the end of the readathon. I literally finished it just before midnight last night. I had to quickly like go through my Goodreads and quickly mark it as read and story graph and all that. But I did it. I finished it just in time, and yeah, 4 stars overall. Very, very much enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think the only reason it's not a 5-star is because I guessed a couple of the twists, although I didn't guess the final twist in the end. And it's definitely opened itself up for another book, which I'm already very excited to read. So I need to buy this one first. I need to find a nice hardcover of it. I think, did I mention in my vlog yesterday that I was looking at like the Illumicrate editions that are being sold on eBay, and they're going for like 60 odd quid, which is a bit too much money for a book for me. I'm not that desperate for a collector's edition, which I could have got if I joined Illumicrate a few months back, and it would have cost me a max of 30 quid with the whole complete box. So it's just like, yeah, no point. Oh yeah, my balloon's still up as well. It's still going. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Highly recommend reading it, especially if you like the wolf, is it wolf and cub trope? It definitely felt like it filled a gap that was left in the wake of like The Last of Us, and it does feel like it's almost prepared me for The Witcher as well, which is out next month. Yeah, next month. I can't wait for that. I haven't actually read the books of The Witcher though, but I haven't heard great things regarding like sexism things, so maybe I might just stick to the video games and the TV show. I don't really want to read about men joking about essaying women or doing other stuff to women when they aren't thankful enough and stuff like that. So, which I heard is a big issue of the short stories, like the first prequel collection. But yeah, really enjoyed Godkiller. Recommend you give it a read. I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but I kind of have mentioned what happened throughout this. But I'll tell you sort of what the basic premise. So you've got a woman who is a god killer. It starts off with sort of 15 years prior, where her family are being burnt down by these supporters of the fire god. And yeah, her house is burnt down, all of her family die apart from her and her father, who then sacrifices himself to a water god to save her. Jumps forward 15 years, there's been a huge war, and there are god killers around that are hired to kill the gods. The current king doesn't want gods at all, anywhere. Especially because there's a war between wild gods and the old gods, essentially, or like the decent gods, which they won. The proper gods, the good gods, were on the side of the humans, and they won against the wild bad gods. And then the humans decided to turn on the nice gods because they were scared that they would do the similar thing. That's essentially sort of the background to the story. So yeah, there's this god killer, and she's hired to kill off gods, especially when they start hurting humans. And the magic system's quite interesting in that respect. And then there's also a young child who has a god sort of tethered to her. A really cute god who's like part hare, part deer or stag, part hare, part stag and part bird. And it's a god of white lies, so it's quite good at lying, which does come in useful in quite a few situations where it can lie to people and say, you've not seen us, as they're like trying to sneak past things. And then there is a ex-knight who used to be very close with the king. They grew up together almost, and he has been sent on a quest to save the king, essentially. I won't go into too much about that. And they end up all banding together because they're all going to this same place where the final battle was fought, to basically solve their problems. And yeah, it's really good. The female character, Kissin, the god killer, she definitely gives me Witcher vibes, in a female perspective. Inara, who's the young child, she definitely gives me sort of Siri vibes slash Ellie. She's quite powerful, quite strong, and she doesn't really know the full extent of her strengths really as a young child. And then obviously the knight is he's just a good knight. He's a nice guy. I wasn't really convinced by the relationship within the story, which I won't give away who the relationship's between because that comes right at the end. But yeah, I think very good book. Do recommend reading it. There's also quite good queer representation. It starts off with the god killer chatting up a woman, and there is like a lesbian couple in there as well and people like that. So yeah, definitely give that a read, and I'm glad I finished it. So yeah, I'm on to my next one already, but the readathon is now over, and this vlog is just for the readathon, so I will end this one here, and then I can start talking about my next book, which I've hinted at before. It's not behind me anymore. It's being used as a book stand, or a camera stand at the minute. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. As I say, another one is coming right at you this time next week. Obviously this is up a day late, so I'll try and get this next vlog up on Thursday, but this one, yeah, it's Friday today. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Please let me know what you've read the past week in the comments, because I would love to know, and then I can steal them for myself as always. Not that I need any more books to add to my TBR, because you can't see it behind me, but it is huge. But yes, hope you had a good week and enjoy your weekend, and I will speak to you in the next video. Goodbye.